Lamte Oriente. This is the Commerce Show.
Okay. Yes, a very good day to everyone who is joining me right now. This is the Comrade Show. My name is Comrade Lamte Oriahi. I would quickly want to appeal to everyone. If you're joining, please help share this broadcast. I just want to have some discussion on some of our presidential aspirants. And please help share the broadcast. Let's get some numbers together, and so we get some people to join in, because this discourse is an ongoing discourse, and it's going to be on for a very long time. But we are heading somewhere. But I'm having this discourse right now because some days ago I did a broadcast on Peter Obi, and of course the need why I believe that Nigerians should support the aspiration of Peter Obi to become the next president of Nigeria. And rising from that broadcast, I've had a lot of interactions with people. I've gotten several messages, and of course I've equally talked to a number of persons. People have reached out to me, talked to me directly, and we've discussed this. And I'm glad that the issue of Peter Obi is generating a lot of discourse amongst Nigerians. Not just Peter Obi, but indeed so many of the aspirants across board. Now, for those who are joining, please let's understand that, like I've said consistently, that we are in a defining moment, and the state of Nigeria right now is not one that we are proud of, and this is very true. And it's essential that we keep pace with this discourse. We must be part of this discourse. We must be part of this process, because at the end of the day, we have a nation to save, and by extension, we have ourselves to save. Because everyone looking at watching what is happening in Nigeria today, we understand that one of the biggest historical mistakes we have made as a people is to have elected the current president of Nigeria, that's President Momodu Buhari. It's a mistake of a lifetime. That is the truth of the matter. And not because I believe that President Momodu Buhari is bad, but because, we made a mistake by electing, a man who has no capacity to govern a people, a man who is not prepared, for the enormity of the job. And so therefore, he's just there, and people are just doing whatever they like. The history of corruption in Nigeria has never been this bad, to be very honest, and all of that. And I mean, look at it. Everything is plunged beyond, control. High cost of living, insecurity is the highest as we speak. Terrorists, aided by this current government, they are presently holding the entire Nigerian state to ransom. People are dying on a daily basis and all of that. So therefore, so many things definitely speak to the fact that, the era we are right now is a serious one. And the earlier we start taking part in the process, the better for all of us. So please share the broadcast. We want to discuss Peter Obi, Chief Dele Momodu, the Vice President of Nigeria, and of course Sowore, and so many others on the feed. And the reason why I chose to discuss this is because in the past days, a lot of persons have called me. I'll say, oh, have you checked out Dele Momodu? How about Sowore? Why can't we do away with this established political parties and begin to look inwards and all of that? But let me start from that. First and foremost, Sowore his party is a young party that, as far as I know, has not to be corrected, hasn't actually got that national spread. And I'll tell you why, for me, I am not looking at Sowore at this moment. I think Sowore is a good guy. He's got some track record himself, of being able to stand for the people and all of that, but I can tell you that because of the way the nature of our polity is today, let us have, an election, as it were, Sowore, will hardly win. The reason is because the Nigerian political system right now, the party system is structured in such a way that, the likes of Sowore and the party they belong to, okay, may not have that national spread enough to be able to give that capacity to be able to win an election of this magnitude. Now, I believe very strongly that if Sowore was a part of one of these established parties, as it were, it would be a great choice for so many Nigerians. That is the truth of the matter. Because, again, he's a young person. He belongs to, the block of the youth. And of course, he will just be the kind of candidate a lot of our youth want. But we must be realistic. This is the truth of the matter right now. And the reality is that, Sowore's party, except something changes drastically, okay, Sowore's party hasn't got that national spread. As a matter of fact, I don't even know whether, as we speak, if there is any, elective position in Nigeria today, whether we are for local government, for chairmanship, for, that, we have his own party, occupying and all of that. So I think that is where, for me, Sowore is not a matter of attention at all. And I'll tell you, and I will explain this to you. The era we are right now, is an era where, of course we know that, between APC and PDP, a lot has happened to Nigeria between these two political parties. Unfavorable things have happened to Nigeria. These parties have not given us appropriate representation and all of that. And if Nigeria must change because of how much they have amassed and, the way they have held Nigeria to themselves, the people who make up these two political parties. To be honest with you, the two parties, APC and the PDP, they are not different as far as I'm concerned. And this is why I'm beginning to look at individuals in either of the parties. I'm not a member of any of these political parties. You understand what I'm saying? But today, these two political parties are ruling Nigeria. Today, they hold all the aces. You understand what I'm saying? And all of that. Today, they are in control of very many segments, of the Nigerian states. They have the national spread and all of that. And our politics has come to a point where, even though the structure is not favorable, even though the outlook is not really okay based on what has been happening, we cannot beat them from afar. We have to join them to beat them from inside. The Benin man says, meaning that the worm that is the kola nut is inside the kola nut. Now, if you have to, destroy that worm, or you have to, remove that worm, or you have to kill that worm, you need to go into the kola nut to kill the worm. You understand? The bad politics that we have today in Nigeria is played by APC, is played by the PDP. PDP started it. APC has, now, what's it called, established it in no small measure, widened the frontiers and all of that. So under the PDP, 16 years of PDP, Nigeria was not in a good shape at all. But what we have seen now, under APC in less than 8 years, it's showing to us that even the 60 years of PDP was just a child's play compared to these 8 years. Now, if Nigeria enters another wrong hand, okay, in 4 years, okay, the sorrow and misery Nigeria we experience will be worse than what we are seeing now in 8 years. Because for every corrupt leader that comes into power, empowering his own corrupt lieutenant to take over the affairs of Nigeria, what you get is that they make the years before, just like a child's play. And that is exactly what is happening. And that is why, I've made my argument like I'm going to make again. That's for Sowore, and of course the party belongs to. I believe that it's in a party that hasn't got that spread, and it's a party that needs a lot to give it that national spread so that that party could win an election. That is one. Now, typically, I want to go to the vice president of Nigeria. What's his name? Yemi Osibanjo. I think Yemi Osibanjo ticks a lot of boxes. He's a young person relatively. He's an intellectual. And we can argue that the man is conversant with, the time that we are in. We can argue that, just a few days, about 4 days or so, if I'm not mistaken, or less than a week, when he was given the mantle of acting, president of Nigeria, when one of those times when President Buhari was away, Nigeria did see some flashes of, wow, okay. You understand what I'm saying now? That made Nigerians feel like, okay. Nigerians feel like, okay, what's his name? Professor Yemi Osibanjo may just be, a good option. You understand what I'm saying? And all of that. So, again, we can equally argue that when you are vice president, somehow, we have seen it over and again, whether you are vice president or, deputy governor and all of that, somehow, your light, your capacity really doesn't, show. Because you cannot outshine the number one person on the ticket, the president or the governor, as the case may be. So you are just like, and the constitution equally, makes it, conditions you as a vice president not to shine. They say that you act in the absence of the president or do any other thing that you shall be assigned to do. To that extent, we may not be able to fully, give an appraiser to what Yemi Osibanjo presidency would be if he's given the opportunity. We may not be able to do that. However, what we know is that Yemi Osibanjo rode on the back of, what's his name, Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu to become president. His biggest benefactor is Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu and all of that. And from what we have seen, these people, these critical stakeholders, they don't give their blessings if nothing if something is not going for it. So if Yemi Osibanjo, if Bola Ahmed Tinubu is going to step down for Yemi Osibanjo to become the president of Nigeria, for instance, at what price will it be to the Nigerian people? Okay, this one becomes a matter of serious concern. And again, we do not know, we may not be able to tell, we may not be able to project into what the presidency of Yemi Osibanjo may be, as it were. You understand what I'm saying now? And again, Yemi Osibanjo, whether we make excuse for him as a vice president or not, is part of this failed structure we have in place right now. He was part of those who made all the promises in the whole world. $1 will become one naira. We will provide 200 million jobs. We will do this, we will do that, and all of that. And none of these, is near coming to pass. None of these will come to pass, even if you give them another 100 years to be in power and all of that. So when you look at it, at the end of the day, the Nigerians will have so much misgivings. And again, I'm looking at the failure that is happening under this administration. It further drives positive argument away from Professor Yemi Osibanjo. No matter how smart some of us think he may be, how educated he is, how, current we believe he is, and all of that, it's looking at the role he's. As a matter of fact, people with integrity, looking at what is happening under this administration, some would even resign and say, man, look, I can't be part of this dirty political culture we have right now. But the likes of Yemi Osibanjo have not taken that step to make Nigerians believe. If Yemi Osibanjo had resigned from his administration some years ago, say, man, look, I can't be part of this, and expose some of the ills under the administration that he himself cannot help as a vice president. Believe me, today, every Nigerian would have been, talking about Yemi Osibanjo. And this is the truth of the matter, and all of that. But he's there, he stayed put. You understand what I'm saying now? Even coming out severally to sing the praises of his president, his boss. And it breaks my heart personally, and I think it does to so many Nigerians who will listen to Yemi Osibanjo giving so much credit to the president of Nigeria, his boss. Understandably, it's his boss, but man, the Nigeria that Yemi Osibanjo is living in doesn't appear to be the same Nigeria that we are all living in. Look at what happened the other day. What's it called? We heard that in one of these airports in Kaduna, I think, in terrorists, who had everybody hostage, and all of just days after, what's his name? Terrorists bombed, a train. We understand that tens of persons have died in that particular, exercise. Nearly 30 persons are in the hospital, and several others, as we speak, have been kidnapped by terrorists and all of that. And only for the Minister of Transportation, what's his name, Amechi, to come out and sort of mock Nigeria, to say that he did warn that there was going to be an attack, and that he requested about 3 billion naira to provide some security infrastructure that will guard against an attack. And today, nobody has called out to say, is the Minister of Transportation a suspect in this terrorist attack based on the statement he made? Because I saw the statement. You are not telling us that, you actually made a case to provide security equipment around this, this train system. Because security equipment will not stop terrorists from bombing the train. But for you to tell us that you warned that there may be a terrorist attack, that did not sit well. I'm going to have a broadcast on this matter to analyze that matter, because I am not saying anything, but I am saying that statement is heavy, and I think, and I'm saying it live on air, that I think the Minister of Transport, what's his name, Amechi, should be invited to tell us if he knows more. You understand what I'm saying now? And this is what the case is. And in this country, I did say the other day, this country has never convicted anybody for terrorism. Never. You understand what I'm saying now? As a matter of fact, we are even using kid groups to trade them. We are granting them amnesty, absorbing them into our national structures and all of that. Giving forgiveness where it is not required. And once Sheikh Gumi is out there, a terrorist sympathizer, asking the federal government of Nigeria to pay ransom to terrorists and all of that, telling Nigerians not to call terrorists. And the man is just there gallivanting, making statements boldly. This government has not been able to display any willpower to get such people arrested, to ask them what they know that we do not know. Start, proper investigation from these people who just walk into the forest freely to go and sit with terrorists, negotiate with them, dine with them, come out and ask government to pay terrorists. I'm talking of Sheikh Gumi, the Islamic cleric. And yet, Nigerians are dying. So, when you look at all of this happening, I'm going to talk about the cost of living, or the new trend where young people are, in their numbers, embracing the art of ritual murder, killing people because of money, because of the way the system is. And it's becoming a matter that is being accepted as part of us. Mothers are dying, daughters are dying, young girls are dying in the hands of these homegrown terrorists that we call them in the name of ritual killing. They call them Yahoo Plus. And yet, as the system is failing, there is no national outcry. There is no state of emergency. There is no law, enabling law, empowering security apparatus of the Nigerian state to track down any young person in their teens seen driving exotic cars, and to question them to know where they get the money, where these exotic cars and all the extravagant living is coming from. To begin to prosecute them from there. That if you cannot explain where you are getting the money you are getting, if there is no address, no office to say this is where you are working and you are getting money to drive this kind of cars, to spray this kind of monies, to live this kind of exotic lifestyle, you are detained and you are going to court. As a matter of fact, you may go to prison if you cannot prove all of these things. It is only a country with a system that is able to address things like this. But the government we have in place is an inept one. The only thing that many of us have observed about this government is everybody is just looking at, what they do to collect their own money. You understand what I'm saying? At the expense of others. At the end of the year, look at Amechi talking the other day. Oh, that even the 3 billion he requested for, if they have to do it now, it has passed that. Yeah, because he calculated with $1 being 400 and something. Now $1 is now 500 and something. And he's saying it like distancing himself from, the way the valued naira currency. Because I would expect that, you know, that the naira is being devalued on a daily basis is a total responsibility of government policy and implementation. And you are part of this government. And you are coming out to tell us on air that you gave a figure when dollar was 400 naira, dollar is now 500 naira. So even that 3 billion naira now, you know, if you have to do this thing right now, it's not going to be more than that 3 billion. It can no longer be that 3 billion. You warn that terrorists may attack these trains. If this is not in place, you only request only 3 billion. How were you able to know that terrorists were going to attack the trains? How? Because every rational, you know, reasonable human being would make a projection to say, man, we need this infrastructure, you know, to help beef security. So that in case anything happens, we are able to easily track down. But to just be point to say terrorists will attack the trains. And terrorists have come out to attack the trains. And nobody's asking, everybody's just like, okay, the minister has spoken, we are taking it like that. It's questionable. Some of us who have lived elsewhere, it's honestly, if that was happening in some other place that we know, the media would have been on the minister right now, and the whole world of the security apparatus would have been on the minister right now to ask him to tell us if he knows more. Particularly now that we still have people kidnapped in the hands of terrorists. Yesterday here, one of the roads in Kaduna, was reported, you know, by Sheikh Sani, you know, to be held hostage by terrorists. And later, you know, government, this thing came to refute it, to say, no, it wasn't exactly like that and stuff like that. Too many things happening in that country. That country needs some sanity. And so, many people will query if Yemi Osibanjo, if given the chance, will have the capacity to deal with these situations. Because I believe strongly that this Yemi Osibanjo is going to be the flag bearer of the APC. You know, a lot of things would have been made, promises and all of that. You understand what I'm saying now? So that is my argument for Yemi Osibanjo, and that is why, you know, I will not support the candidacy of Yemi Osibanjo if he becomes the candidate of the APC. On that of what's his name, his benefactor, talking of the Jagaban himself, I've made my point very clear. Nothing in this world would make me, you know, support Jagaban. I believe that he has no capacity. The likes of him have no capacity to lead this country. This is very, for me, it's a no-go area. It's not even, and that is why I'm appealing to Nigerians. We must be involved so that we don't allow room for the options available to be very bad options that will not be forced to choose the better of two bad options. So if Yemi Osibanjo even gets the ticket, some Nigerians will feel, okay, if somebody, for instance, we have Yemi Osibanjo on that ticket, and we have maybe somebody like Peter Obi, you know, from the PDP and all of that, Nigerians may feel some self-relief. So, okay, anyhow you go, you understand what I'm saying now? We probably can live with any of these. You understand the picture from what I'm saying now and all of that. But for me and my household, Yemi Osibanjo is not for us at all. You understand what I'm saying now and all of that, because where he's coming from, you know, it does not suit the future of this country that many of us are advocating for. And right now, we are not looking for an Eldorado of a nation. We are looking for just somebody to help stabilize the ship, break away from this old order. Okay, reposition the Nigerian ship in a way that, you know, people can begin to believe in the future of Nigeria and begin to believe, you know, that a new crop of people are coming on board and all of that. So I am really not looking at, oh man, with Peter Obi becoming president, Nigeria just going to turn around all of a sudden. You understand what I'm saying now? I'm not seeing that at all. But I think that Peter Obi has got a lot to help stabilize the ship and turn the ship away, you know, from the iceberg that we see right now, you know, and bring the ship back to sea on a steady, you know, so that from there, we can begin to build on the future of the Nigerian state. Because right now, so much has gone bad. So much has gone bad. Now, talking of Dele Momodu, I had a chat with somebody yesterday. Not a chat, a telephone call, you know, yesterday. And we talked for, if I'm not mistaken, probably nearly half an hour. Two persons, as a matter of fact. But this one was more, you know, more notable. And he was making a case for Dele Momodu. And I was making a case for Peter Obi. At the end of the day, I'm glad that the young man said, he did bow to what he considered a superior argument from my own side. And he told me that, he promised me that he was going to start working for Peter Obi. Now, I'm going to tell you guys why. When Dele Momodu declared to run for president, and he started by saying that he was, consulting. I wrote him a personal letter, honestly, applauding him, and I still do. Applauding him for his dexterity, applauding him for, throwing his heart into the ring, applauding him, for picking up courage to do this, because Dele Momodu belongs to our class, belongs to our generation, Dele Momodu has made huge contributions towards national development. There is no doubt about it. He's, as a matter of fact, his regular, commentary on national issues is something that I personally have benefited from a lot. I like to listen to him and all of that. He discusses national issues a lot on his own platform of Facebook and all, and all of that. And so when he declared, I did write him, some urging him on, supporting him, and I admire him, and I think that in Nigeria, under, the leadership of Dele Momodu, we be in Nigeria with vision. I believe so. I believe so very strongly. I believe so. I think Dele Momodu is a good guy, and all of that. So, but I have, people have heard me talk about Peter Obi. So, I really want to quickly douse this. It was, some couple of days ago, some guy wrote me a message on Facebook. Apparently, insulting me, telling me that I'm a Benin man. How will I be supporting Peter Obi when we have a Dele Momodu who is from Edo State, blah, 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 blah. Said a lot of things and all of that, and, I'm not taking the young man to heart. Whether it's a man or a woman, I don't know. I'm not taking the person to heart at all. Because now where we know rich, now we talk rich, and all of that. But I want to make a case very clear here. I am a Benin man by birth and my inclination. And, my primary focal point of development is Edo State. But I'm a Nigerian. I understand that before being in Nigeria, I'm an Edo man. You understand what I'm saying? And I'm not hiding away from that fact at all. But when it comes to these debates, Nigeria needs, needs capacity right now. Needs somebody with capacity. Nigeria needs more than just my tribesman. You understand what I'm saying now? And, it is part of the danger of our polity, where people just urge their own on, irrespective of whether that person has capacity or not. All they want to see is that I'm a Yoruba man has to be the president. I'm a Yoruba man, let Yoruba man be the president. I'm Hausa, and that is what has plagued this nation so badly. You understand the picture of what I'm saying now? I don't subscribe to that class, holistically. Particularly in this case. And I'm going to use this to lead to why I think that every Nigerian should support, Peter Obi. Now, I did respond to that man. I believe that he follows the Comrade Show page, so he would hopefully be watching or watch at some point, so that I make my argument general. For people who have this thinking, and all of that. Dele Momodu is an Edo State man, so every Edo State person must support Dele Momodu. It doesn't, at this level, it doesn't work that way. As a matter of fact, for the Dele Momodu we are talking about, it's only recently that many of us began to know that Dele Momodu is from Edo State, when he paid a visit to his own ancestral home. You understand what I'm saying? A home that he has not been to probably for more than 30 years. And now that he's contesting an election, he wants charity to begin from home. He went there, which is a good thing. And many of us got to know that, oh, this man is from Edo State. Oh, we had always thought that he's a pure Yoruba man. But he has never really had that interaction with his own people, as it were, and all of that. But that is even itself is not even a yardstick for anything. Dele Momodu could have been an Hausa man, could have been anywhere from Nigeria. It doesn't really matter. His personality speaks for him. You understand? And I think he's a good man. It's a man that would be better than what we have right now. There is no doubt about that. But between Dele Momodu and Peter Obi, I will throw my heart to Peter Obi. I'll tell you why. Now, we have a Peter Obi who is a proven administrator, a businessman, you know, and whose road to where he is has been very near impeccable. This man was a governor of his own state, Anambra State, for 8 years. He left with several billions in the account. I do remember in my own state where a governor ruled for 8 years and left, you know, with less than 500 million naira in the account. In my own state. You understand what I'm saying? It's not the first time, but this man left billions in the account of Anambra State for the following government too. And I've interacted with a number of people from Anambra State. One man, a very critical-minded man, you know, from Anambra State, told me, he said, when Peter Obi was rounding off, you know, as the governor of Anambra State, many of them, you know, they wept. They desired if it were possible to amend the constitution to make him continue a bit more. And all of that. Now, I think that Peter Obi has told us a story of how he ventured into becoming the governor of, you know, he was not a politician, he was in the banking sector and all of that, you know, excelling there, having a good life and all of that. And we some of us know the story and all of that. And since becoming the governor of Anambra State, you know, he's ex-governor right now, Peter Obi has built a level of capacity that can make his aspiration, you know, lead to success. That capacity is needed. Now, I don't know how much capacity. I think that, you know, what was his name? Dele Momodu has capacity. There's no doubt about it. Because he's been there. His ovation did open a lot of doors for him. There's no doubt. And he's been there, you know, romancing with the high and the mighty. What I'm sure he's not been doing, he's not been part of this political immunisms and all of that. But Peter Obi has been part of this immunism. And like I said earlier, I am looking at the system, a structure, a phase structure, you know, we have politically and all of that. And to change this structure, we have to change it from the inside. So we need somebody, a trusted person, somebody who has his head on his shoulder, you know, who is inside to start the revolution from the inside. And the person who is standing in that position right now to do that is Peter Obi. You understand what I'm saying now? In my last broadcast, I did say, you know, that is quoting scriptures from the Bible, the Christian Bible, you know. He said, when the righteous are in authority, the people rejoice. And I can't correct it, that the righteous doesn't mean those people going to church. It doesn't mean religious people. It means people who think beyond themselves. People who see others, you know, as a parameter for judging themselves. People who do unto others the way they want things done to them. Those are, you know, righteous people. Because Jesus Christ in the Bible made it very clear later when he said that so long as you did not do this to the least of your brethren, you have not done it to me. So if you do it to the least of your brethren, you know, that which you want done to you, that means you have done it to Christ, and that makes you a righteous person. So it did not establish that you are, as a righteous person, you must be a church goer, you must be this. Because right now, Nigeria is littered with people who go to church, who go to mosque, and yet they are so devilish. As a matter of fact, my last day at work, day before yesterday night, you know, I worked with somebody in Nigeria from, he did say was from Benue State. Yes, from Benue State, he said. You know, so we're walking. At some point, he took permission from me that he was going to pray. So, and I asked him, pray, I don't understand, but it was night job. You understand what I'm saying? Now, something around, I don't know, 3 a.m. or something, he said I was going to pray. And I said, pray for what? He said, no, that he's a Muslim, that he's required to pray 5 times a day. I was curious. And I asked him, I said, You pray 5 times a day. For what are you praying for? He said, no, it's required by Islam for them to pray 5. So I now ask him, I say, does it mean that all of these people are Muslims in the National Assembly, in the Federal Executive Council of Nigeria? Do they pray 5 times a day? He said, yes, they do. He said they are required to do so. I said, so with all this belief in Islam, they can observe this 5 times a day prayer and some other things at their own convenience, okay? Yet they cannot dispense humanity to Nigerians with the privileged position they are occupying. Yet they steal billions out of the coffers of the Nigerian states. Does that not betray the entire, what's it called, good thing that Islam stands for? If you are a Muslim, why would you observe some and leave some? I'm aware too that the same, what's it called, Islam advocates that you should do good unto your neighbors. You should use a position to provide for others. Why are these people doing some part and leaving the others? Which is why, personally, I have come to abhor the way we practice our religion. If you are in, you are in. If you are not in, you are not in. We just know where you belong and all of that. So that's just by the by anyway. So, like I was trying to say, a righteous person, okay, it's not the person who go to church or who go to mosque, okay? A righteous person is that person who is able to think, for others the way he wants for himself and all of that, who puts others in his own shoes. And we don't have such people in government. And so, we see some level of righteousness in this area, okay, within the confines of what I'm talking about right now, in somebody like Mr. Peter Obi. Now, most of all, the reason why Peter Obi comes for me first before Dele Momodu, for PDP ticket. I like us to open our minds. You understand what I'm saying on this? This is a statement of fact, which I am, it plagues my heart, really, when I think about it sometimes. Since the era of Ironsi in 1967, we had the first military coup in 66. I think that was January 15th, led by Major Ezeogu. Before 1966, we had a lot of Igbo people, around the position of power and all of that. Ironsi took over. And in July of 1967, right, yeah, he was overthrown by the Gowon regime. And Ogundikbe was supposed to, ascend the throne as the highest ranking military officer. But he renounced, and Gowon took place. And Gowon was having the same rank with Ojukwu, like we learn in history. And Ojukwu was supposed to be there, but Gowon said he was going to be there, and all of that. All that led to all of the issues that, created the problem that led to the civil war and all of that, Since then, till date, there has been no Igbo person that has taken a shot at the presidency of Nigeria. None. To the extent that there is some Hausa Fulani school of thought that says that an Igbo person can never be president of Nigeria. They cannot be trusted with the seat of the presidency. This has been on ages. Till today, some of these northern, oligarchs, okay, they've use that tool to oppress the Easterners. They've connived regularly with the Westerners, the Yorubas, and the rest of Nigeria to keep on oppressing the Easterners and all of that. And in recent time, we've seen agitations from the East, from everywhere, to the extent that the agitation from the East is not even giving birth to agitation from the Southwest, among the Yorubas and all of that, And people have said different things. And sometimes you sit down. I sit down sometimes to reflect on these things. And sometimes you cannot just blame the Igbos. You understand what I'm saying now? Because you cannot be a part of a system where you are only relevant for some things. In our national sports games, they dominate. Okay? they make us happy if they are successful and all of that. In some other things about this country, you know, we require them to be part of it. You understand? Even when sometimes the Northerners are not even there at all. You understand the picture of what I'm saying now? When you don't even have Hausa Fulani in some of these aspects at all that make us a nation. But when it comes to, you know, having a person, you know, at the helm of affairs to decide what happens in Nigeria, you know, the Northerners, the Hausas will just connive with the Yoruba to say an Igbo man cannot be president. In this day and age, I found that insulting. I find it unacceptable. And so ever since, you know, the flag off of this dispensation started to, when I'm looking for president for 2023, I believe very strongly, and I'm not putting more water in my mouth to say it, that if Nigeria must be fair, an Igbo man should become president of Nigeria. An Igbo man. And I advocate for an Igbo man, not just an Igbo man. As a matter of fact, there are some Igbos that have, you know, thrown their heart into the ring and all of that. I don't want to even mention them because I just know that these ones, their antecedents speak for them. They are not the kind of people we want at all. So we're not looking for, the Spanish will say a Kwakie person. We're not looking for just any Igbo person. Peter Obi could have been from any other part of Nigeria. He already ticked the box for me. That Peter Obi is an Igbo man now makes it even more. Yesterday, as part of the conversation I had with this human being who's now saying he's going to support Peter Obi, one of his arguments was that, oh, we cannot trust the Igbos. You see the narrative that has been sold to him. How can we trust the Igbos to become president of Nigeria? No, we can't trust the Igbos. And I told him, those that you trust, you have trusted over the years, what have they given to Nigeria? Is it not tears, sorrow, and death? Those that we have trusted over the years, what have they given us? Did we not trust Momodu Buhari to at least curb insecurity? What do we have right now? So my friend, don't tell me about trust. Don't tell me about trust. I rather want to hear equity. I want to hear fairness. Don't tell me about trust. Because across board, there is nobody to be trusted as far as governance is concerned. They've all been self-serving. Nobody at the federal government of Nigeria level, right from the time of, what's his name, Obasanjo, till date, nobody has served this nation for the glory of service. They've all been self-serving. So don't tell me about trust. We have had the Yorubas take their shots. We've had the Hausas. We've had them over and over again. For once, whether you are a Hausa person, you are a Fulani person, you know, you are a Nigerian, for once, let us agree with this consensus to allow an Igbo person become president. And the person standing very firm, very tall in that order right now is Peter Obi. Apart from ticking all the other boxes for me, he's an Igbo person. And I think that a Peter Obi presidency will jumpstart reconciliation in this country. Whether we like it or not, we need reconciliation in this country. We have gone far apart. Too far apart. As we speak right now, the case of Sunday Igboho is still lying there. The case of Nnamdi Kanu is still lying there. These are issues that transcend these individuals to a broad base of support that they have. A Peter Obi presidency will ameliorate a lot of minds. You cannot be part of a group where you don't feel you are part of the group. A Peter Obi presidency will make people from that region feel for once that yes, we are truly part of this Nigerian estate. A Peter Obi presidency, you know, without even making too much about the issue of reconciliation, will definitely start that process for us. And probably when that starts, we may begin to start a new era of rebuilding the Nigerian state, the Nigerian structure, the Nigerian mentality. There's a Nigerian dream. There's a Nigerian mission that we don't talk about. And I believe very strongly that if we are able, to come together, like I say, as build a consensus around Peter Obi and all of that, I think very strongly that we'll just gradually begin to arrive there. Look, like, mind you, I am not saying that, Peter Obi is going to immediately make Nigeria become an Eldorado. But I think that a Peter Obi presidency will quickly start stabilizing the state. Now, let me give you another reason why I think that, Peter Obi is the man for me. The man has been part of this Nigerian project. He's been studying everything. I do remember in the last, what's it called, 2015 when they were campaigning. All you hear Buhari comes to say if he's able to go, if he's able to climb the pulpit or the altar, as the case may be, or the podium, to speak to Nigerians, APC from top to bottom, people will just clap. There were no issues presented to Nigeria. $1 will become 1 naira. How? Nigerians were not told. Insecurity will be a thing of the past. How? Nigerians were not told. Then I will just say APC, everybody will just clap. We couldn't take anybody on policies. If you are watching me, be curious. Take some time to listen to Peter Obi. The man tells you, we are going to do this. And he tells you how we are going to do it. Where we are going to get the money to do it. That is a leader with a vision. How many of them do you find on the feed right now? How many? How many of them do you find right now on the field? It's not enough to just say, I'm going to become president. We have myriad of issues, mountain issues. How do you intend to solve these issues? Some of them will just come out, I listened to, what's his name, Jagaban once. It was, that we just carried the young men, carried it to the farm, cut Gary, cut this. It was just like a nursery school child talking. Peter Obi, tells you the problem, tells you the problem can be fixed if given a chance. And it tells you how the problem can be fixed. Recently, I listened to him. He was talking about, it was in one of, I think it was in, well, I don't know. Let me not mistake, but he was in one of these universities addressing maybe the governing board or the stakeholders of the university and all of that. And he started making reference to the independence of some tertiary institutions across the world, like Oxford, like Harvard, some of these notable universities and all of that. Their economic independence and what made them economically independent. And he said that such a model that they employ to be economically independent can be employed within our own universities in a way that our universities can at some point become self-sustaining, even if they don't get anything from the federal government of Nigeria. To build infrastructures in the university, to ensure that we get, put research materials and research structures of universities up to date and all of that. I was wowed. The ordinary man who is not well exposed may not even think out of the box to understand that this is possible. And these things are possible by the strength of the alumni of the university. For instance, University of Benin, for instance, has from over the years have graduated so many people. Some of them have become very important human beings in life and all of that. He talked about how the alumni structure of university can be built in a way that the alumni itself, will make contributions to the university that will help to position the infrastructure of the school to the top class level. And it is possible, putting some measures in place. That is Peter Obi talking. Peter Obi tells you the problems we have. And it tells you these problems are solvable. But this is how they can be solved. And most of these problems are problems to be solved with money. With money. Now it tells you this is where we are going to get the money to get these things solved. This matter, we cannot overemphasize it. We are going to keep talking about it. And this is why I'm appealing. We must blur the lines of tribalism. Peter Obi is an Igbo man. It doesn't matter. A Benin man can talk about Peter Obi as I'm doing right now. A Yoruba man can talk about Peter Obi as I'm doing right now. What's his name? An Hausa man should talk about Peter Obi as I'm doing right now. We need to get this going. Because Peter Obi is not coming to come and be president of the Igbos. He is coming to want to be president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, the United People of Nigeria. This is important. So at this stage we are right now, for those who quoted me to say, oh, why are you not throwing your weight behind a Benin person and this and that and that? It's not a person of Benin and all of that. We have looked, the other day Wike declared, oh, he wants to become president. I don't want to talk about the rest. So many people are going to declare. You understand what I'm saying? I don't want to talk about them. You understand? You know, right now, I think that the delegates of the PDP should look inwards. I know that Atiku is building his own frontiers right now, doing this, doing that. I tell you the truth. I don't need Sutiya to tell me that Atiku is not the right man to become president of Nigeria. He's not. As a matter of fact, I ask myself, what did Atiku leave in Aso Rock that is going back for? Atiku, this is his 6th time. 6th. Are you the only person in Nigeria? Are you? And now you are aging. You are now in the neighborhood of 80 years. Come on. Come on. Looking at what we have experienced with President Momodu Buhari, I mean, I don't know how right thinking we may be to say it is Atiku we are not projecting. Or, what's his name, Jagaban. No. In this Nigeria that we are in right now, we are not looking for somebody to come and sustain, you know, the dividends that we already have in play right now. We are looking for someone to start a restructured program for Nigeria. To collapse all these weak structures and reposition the Nigerian state. By repositioning the mind of the people. Starting from there. Recently, Peter Obi, you know, in one of his articles, his article, interview or whatever, I don't know, but I read it. I think it was just yesterday or so, talking about how to fix Nigeria and all of that. He talked about empowering the mind, the people. Building infrastructure is important, but infrastructure without building the people is zero. Well, many people may not understand this. I do understand it. Okay? It is one of the first things I noticed about the UK when I got in here. If you come to the streets of UK, I came from Spain to the UK. If you go to Spain, okay, you go to Madrid, for instance, you know, I came from Madrid. I lived there for many years. You can almost pick your mat and lie down on the streets of Madrid because everywhere is clean. They have modern buildings, modern facilities. Infrastructure is... But employment in Spain, okay, is a problem. Even those employed, okay, their employment can only put food on the table. Yet, if we're talking about infrastructure, this is a very beautiful, modern country. Few jobs. Okay, a lot of people are still there unemployed. Some get employment, temporary employment, you know, work 1 month, be out of work for 2 weeks or for another 1 month, get a job again, temporary employment and all of that. For those who have permanent employment, you know what I'm saying now, they are unable to do any other thing. Sometimes before you even get your salary at the end of the month, you have already spent half of your salary. For the majority of the people. Well, I lived there for many years. So I know the Spanish structure inside out. I even played small politics when I played in my own council where I'm from, from those who know Madrid. I'm from Pinto. I was part of the, integrated immigrant structure of the Pinto community. So I sort of know Spain inside out. When I moved to the UK several years ago, I saw a different structure. Because when I come into a place, I try to want to, first of all, even when I was in Germany, the first thing I want to try to observe is the working structure of the system. So when I came to the UK, I saw a different working structure. If you are from Spain, you enter the UK, many people can bear me witness. Okay? The first thing you observe is that the UK is very dirty. This country is very dirty. Now, when your eye don't reach ground for UK, you're going to say, you know what to see the dirty again. But when there is snowfall in Spain, before you know what is happening, all the machines are in place to clear, to create, safeguarding is very important, all of those things and all of that. But when I came into the UK, I found out the UK, they are not interested in the streets. They are not interested in all those fancy buildings and all those things that you would beautify the... UK is beautiful, I said that about some parts of it and all of that. They are interested in how much is in your own pocket as a human being. Can you go to the market and buy groceries? I share some experience between these two very wonderful countries. In Spain, okay, there's an experience with some of our Nigerian people, okay, where some of them buy milk, the market they buy milk, that is not where they buy biscuits. Where they buy biscuits, that is not where they're going to be buying, what's it called, Fanta or something. The reason why they buy this of different markets is because from this market, milk is cheaper with some cents. Biscuit is cheaper in the other market with some cents. When you go to the other one, the other commodity is cheaper with some cents. Because you want to try to see how much you can save. So you don't want to buy anything from an expensive shop. But meanwhile, in the UK, you go to the market, you are not worried about what you want to buy or where you want to buy it from. What you are worried about is, how do you carry what you are buying? How do you take them home if you don't have a car? You are not worried about the price tag per se. It is whether you go fit, whether you go fit carry what you want buy, whether you go fit carry and reach house. Because this system in the UK, they try first of all to ensure that everybody who's in the system is at least not hungry. They prioritize investing in the human beings more than anything else. So when I read Peter Obi's piece saying we need to invest in the human beings first and foremost before looking at the infrastructure, I knew exactly what he was talking about. Look at Nigeria today. This present government pride itself as investing in infrastructure. Meanwhile, the people in Nigeria are hungry. People are dying of hunger. And that vacuum is even leading to e-health. Desperation. Because we have a government in place which policy is not to look at the individuals, to look at the human beings in the system. Before you know what is happening, they're going to approve 20 billion naira to fix the train, this bumped train. Meanwhile, Nigerians are dying. High cost of living. You understand what I'm saying now? In contrast, here in the UK, snow will fall. Okay? In fact, some 4 years ago, we had this beast from the east. It was terrible. I was expecting that they were going to bring their trucks, their tractor to come and clear the roads. But we are as high, mountainous as that snow fall. Okay? Every bit of it melt by themselves. Nobody clear any road. You need to be here to understand exactly what I'm talking about right now. A couple of months ago, in January, I had COVID. I was done with COVID, and the policy of government was that when you are with COVID, you have to self-isolate for at least 2 weeks. 10 days were approximately 2 weeks. So I self-isolated for 2 weeks. And the policy was that we would try to ameliorate, whatever it is from government side. You understand what I'm saying now? After 2 weeks, I went back to work. There's a provision from the government website. I filled the form. I didn't go anywhere. Filled the form. But there's proof that I was home for 2 weeks. I didn't work for 2 weeks. Submitted the form and every other thing. And the government checked it out. A week later, £500 to cover for that 2 weeks. Even though that may not be my salary. You understand what I'm saying? But just to ameliorate what's in my account. The same with anybody that will be in that condition. Because the system recognizes that the human beings are first and foremost the priority. Now every day, because of high cost of living right now, every day there are government programs, here and there to put some money in your pocket so that you can measure up. That is a government that understands investing in the human beings. The other day I talked about a pathway in the UK. Whether you never go to school before for your life, you enter the UK and you are ready, you have been absorbed into the system. It's not for everybody. If you have been absorbed into the system, you are here legally. There is a pathway for you to become anything you want to become. It's not too late. Anything whatsoever. That is a government that understands investing in the human beings. I have done a few programs here and there, sponsored by the government, by way of loan and every other thing. And they say that, we have paid £9,000 for you to get this program done. Okay? Now, you are not bringing a dime from that £9,000. That they say that when your salary hits a certain threshold, okay, they start deducting that amount of money. That's when you are going to get, depending on what kind of loan you are giving. You are going to get £25,000 a year, £30,000 a year, 20,000, depending. You understand what I'm saying now, and all of that. So, and they have a way they calculate it. You understand what I'm saying now? So, depending on how much I earn in a week, you understand what I'm saying? Sometimes, I mean, depending on how much I earn in a week, they may just take £5, £10, depending. And you'll be amazed. I don't want to mention figures because I'm not going to know how much at the end and all of that. You understand what I'm saying now? And sometimes if there are weeks, maybe you don't just still do anything at all. You understand what I'm saying now? Maybe you just reach your account. In that week, you are paid maybe £300 or £400. You see what I'm saying, man? Student loan, 0. They don't take anything for inside. That is a society that understands how to. So, overall, I think Peter Obi do understand exactly the needs of our nation today. We have so many needs, so many. But there are some key needs that will help reposition this country. And he understands that. So when I read his piece, in fact, I further fell in love with this man for his understanding. One of the failures of this country has been that we have not prioritized human beings before any other thing. And that priority needs to be given. And it's because of that, we didn't prioritize human beings. That is why people are dying in their numbers, and it's like nobody's business. Look at Amechi talking. After all the wahala with this train bombing, kidnap of people die and every other thing, you are coming to make claim for 3 billion. For the pain that you are feeling is not the pain of what had happened, but the pain of 3 billion not being approved, in addition to all the money that have been approved for you to put railway, a railway in across part of Nigeria. So my people, I've chosen the topic to look at Peter Obi, or is it called Chief Dele Momodu, Osibanjo, Sowore, and the others. So I still think, okay, that Peter Obi is still the man that tick, all of the boxes for me. And I want to enjoin everybody, if you could, let us throw our weight behind Peter Obi. And please do us a favor. Share this broadcast. This may be the only favor you'll be doing for us. And it may be your part so that this thing can go around. I know that we have a very wide reach to the southern part of Nigeria, but we need to reach the northern hinterland. We need to reach our northern, intellectuals. They must understand because they are all feeling the pinch as well. The other day in Katsina State, the home state of the president of Nigeria, the people, one House of Rep member or Senate member, National Assembly member came to his constituency. He was chased with a stone by his own people because of the general failure of the federal government of Nigeria. So the Northerners must begin to understand that those people who made that case to say Iboma will not become president, it is stale, it's unacceptable, it should not stand in this era. Let us give Peter Obi a chance so that we don't make the mistake we made the last 3 years plus or so, and of course, 7 years ago. It is time to change the narrative. Peter Obi for president would bet the best for Nigeria at this time. My name is Comrade Lamte Oriaki, and of course, it's been a Comrade Show. Please share, and share. Bye for now. I'll see you again.
Comrade Show, wait. Comrade Lamte Oriaki. This is the Comrade Show.